Today we talk about my favorite topic in astrology, which is about past lives and present lives and what you have to develop in this life. Or if you do not believe in past lives, then you can take it what you come with naturally talented with in this life, what you're born naturally talented, or what you develop naturally in your early age, probably in the first 20 to 30 years in your life, versus what you have to develop later in life. And this is indicated, this most important indication in your horoscope. There is nothing more important in your horoscope than the position of Ketu and Rahu, or as they're known in Western astrology, South Node and North Node of the Moon. They're the reason the person incarnates back in the Earth, comes back to Earth to learn the lesson of these planets, or these points as we call them in astrology. So if you learn what you have to focus on this life, you will have it so much more clearer picture about your path in life and about what's good for you and what you have to let go of. And usually Ketu, or the South Node, will indicate what we were really good in past life with, what we focus in past life, where we feel confident. So usually these, the place where Ketu is placed in our horoscope will show us where we have more natural talent or skill, or where we feel more confident in or we're just better in the first part of life. And Rahu will show us what we have to develop in this life, what we haven't focused in past lives, or if you don't believe in past lives, in the early part of your life, and what you will develop later on in life, usually in the second part of life after 35, 40 onwards. So you have a bit of difficulties where Rahu is, in the areas of life where Rahu indicates, because Ketu, you also have some boredom in the house of where Ketu indicates, because it's something you've already learned how to use, learn how to be good at, so they're not easy positions, but they're very interesting because it will give you such depth of understanding about yourself. And what I want you to go is, I want you to go to my website astrolada.com, go to my birth chart calculator, and I want you to, if you know your time of birth, enter it correctly, then you'll be able to see the house positions of Ketu and Rahu, or the South Node and the North Node. And if you don't know your time of birth, then just look at the sign position of Rahu and Ketu. The sign position will be given underneath on the table, where it will say Ketu is in Aries, or Ketu is in Libra, Rahu is always the opposite sign. They're always, the South Node is always opposite the North Node. Because if you have developed something in the past life, the opposite you haven't much developed, And when you get that chart, or if you're using Western chart to get this, but if you're using mine, this is what you're gonna get. For instance, you might get Ketu here, and Rahu will be here in the 10th, 4th sign, 10th sign. But I want you to take a look this time of the house position. You can have the houses are indicated with Roman numericals. So you can have it house 3 and house 4 in the 4th sign together. So basically Ketu will, if the sign is indicated by one of the squares, each square is one sign. And what the sign is, you can see from the table underneath. So you can see which sign Ketu is in, which sign Rahu is in, and you will see that there is also Roman numericals. There is the house cusps that are inside. It's a bit difficult, but I just want you to pay attention to these Roman numericals. So if you have Ketu with the 3rd and 4th house cups, you'll have Rahu with the 9th and 10th house cusp in the opposite. So I would want you to listen the video for which says North Node in 10th house, or North Node in 9th house. Both of these videos, because I'll be indicating them by the position of the North Node, always Rahu in 10th house or Rahu in 9th house. And you will learn what your karmic duties are in this life, what you have to focus on in this life, what you have to learn to let go of, which is Ketu usually. It's really amazing. It's the best part of astrology. And now we came to when Rahu, or the North Node, is in the sign of Libra, which is the 7th sign. That's why it corresponds to the 7th house in astrology. So if you see that Rahu is in the same square where the 7th Roman numerical is, then you have Rahu in the 7th house. In Western astrology, it will be indicated by this symbol, Rahu in the 7th house. They're a bit different, by look, but they're the same by meaning. And Ketu is in Aries, or in the first house, because Aries is the first sign in astrology, so it corresponds to the first house. And then it's indicated by the numerical 1. And what happens? Well, in past lives, these people focus on what? On Ketu, on the south node, on the first house, on themselves. I have this position, so there you go, we're selfish people. And they focus a lot on their own unique skills. They focus, often these people would have even isolated more from others. These people come from a background of lack of marriages, so a background where they were usually soldiers, so they couldn't share with another person, because sharing and being with another person in a commitment, in a marriage, is the 7th house, the opposite. So the first house is me, my own actions. The 7th house is my relationships actions, my relationships, other people. So these people were focused a lot on themselves. Often they are either not married, or unsuccessful marriages, so to speak, or just they had a lack of this communication and this ability to equal relationships, you know. So in this life they have to develop this ability to relate to others. I'm not talking to talk to others. I'm talking to be in a committed relationship long term and to give and receive equally. Often these people will be so into their own things. The word for this is selfish, but we're not such horrible people, you know. Basically, so focused into your own inner world, what's going in your head, your own projects, your own actions, where you're going, where you're heading, that you kind of dismiss or don't even think about the needs of the partner. And often such people in relationship, the partner will be giving them and they will not reciprocate, or somehow there will be some imbalance because they're not used how to be in equal give and take relationships. Well, they can be in more disruptive relationship where one gives more or one takes more, but they don't know how to do the equal, the healthy one. So often before they settle down, it might take a bit longer, maybe a bit later, after 30 onwards is more advisable for people who have the north node in the 7th house with Rahu, you know, because before that they tend to go through quite a few relationships till they get it right, till they get how to do relationship right. So don't judge these people if they sleep around. No, I don't mean that. If they had like 7 relationships before they finally settle, because they need, like a child learns to walk, these people need to navigate through the waters of partnerships and commitments. And sometimes they might, 7th houses, 7th house or Libra is the sign of trading. So taking something from, giving something to a person and getting back what you've given, the word equal, you know. So that's why business people and trading people, you know, the 7th house is important for them. But if you have Rahu, don't rush in to become a business too early in life, you know, because you might do some crap deals or you might have difficulty assessing that you're giving too much or you're taking too much, or that the others will take advantage of you, that you might take advantage of them, you know. There isn't a good ability to see how things are balanced, you know. It's Libra. We haven't developed the qualities of Libra, of compromise, of seeing the needs of the other, of seeing the other's point of view. You know, we've only kind of feel our own needs. We're kind of very self-focused, especially in the first years of life. These people tend to isolate as well into their own world, into developing their own uniqueness, but they're already unique, you know. They don't need to do that. They need to, in order to feel more confident, in order to feel happier in life and things to start moving for them, they have to focus into incorporating other people in their life. They shouldn't feel scared. And these people can react in 2 ways when they have Rahu in the 7th house of other people in relationship. They either retreat fully from relationships, they get fed up, you know. And I'm not saying constantly, but there is like a break point in a person's life where they either say, that's it, I don't want to even try relationship, you know. They're kind of fearful because Rahu is something you haven't developed, so you kind of in the dark there. When you're in the dark, some people don't like to go in dark rooms, you know, so they either don't try relationship, or they try having relationships much later in life, or marry much later after 30, 40 onwards, or the opposite. They just, because Rahu has a pulling influence on you, it's like the dark pulls you, you know, you want to divulge it because life wants to push you into that direction to develop this, and you get bored with being with yourself only. You've explored your own mind, you've explored your strengths and powers, you know what it is, you know your skills, but you'll be more, and you know that you have a lot, you can learn so much more from another person and get so much more and improve your life through that. So you can just start jumping from relationship to relationship, and you know, so you can develop the seventh house. So they can be both extremes, you know, either resenting all people and want to be away, or you know, having quite a few relationships first. But you have to develop those, and they will balance themselves later on, you know. After, I would say in late 30s, I've observed that such people can finally settle down, and they will really benefit from developing also business partnerships. And I said maybe early in life they will have a few not so successful business partnerships because they're first learning the rules of contracts and how to equally give and take and behave in contractual relationships or partnerships. But later on, if you persist and keep trying to work on the house of where Rahu is, you get very good success actually. You get very good results. And seventh house is the public, other people. So such people can become popular and famous. That's good for me. Because it's their destiny to develop this seventh house, but it will take, again, they'll feel fearful about that, you know, so it will take them a while to venture into that. And so basically they will, seventh house is the public, as I said, and when you develop this house, you get rewarded, you know. So the more you have a tendency to retreat and to say, I don't want anyone, if people upset you, you know, if you're scared or worried or easily hurt by them because you don't have a habit of dealing with others from past lives, you know. Or maybe you were a single child, you grew up a single child like I did, you know. And one-to-one equal sharing, you know, it wasn't part of the experience. So it's you somehow become more self-absorbed, but later on you open yourself to other relationships, even if they're scary, exhausting for you, because you might feel it often. It's new energies, unknown territory, but open, because that's where good things in your development will come from in life. That's what you have to develop. So get in partnerships with people. But again, I say in the second part of life, these are more successful. Business, trading, these people can later on become good business people. First, they're a bit, you know, maybe they might be even dodgy when it comes to such relationship because they don't know equal trading, you know, they might charm you, others might charm them, you know, or they might not keep their promises in contracts, you know, whatever. But later on they learn, and this brings them really good results. Yeah, everything to do with seventh house, I said business, your own business, consultancy services, dealing with other people one-to-one, you know. And even though they will try often to retreat into themselves and they would like, oh, I want to escape, you know, I want to be on my own with my own thoughts where I feel most confident and comfortable, life will keep pushing them to be involved with others. For instance, I didn't want any people in my life, but now I have to deal with hundreds of thousands watching me and writing to me. And I know that's good for my soul and for my development, one-to-one relationship. If I promise something, I deliver it to that person, you know, or I try and find better deals. Often these people, especially when they're young, they have problem in the market. Going and buying something from the market, they can be duped. They can be easily faked because they don't have those interchanging skills, so they can't see the worth and the value of something, of what they give and how much they get back. Or in the worst case scenario, they try and take more from others, you know. But anyway, it's a bit complex, but I hope you understood it. So focus on seventh house relationship, and then your confidence will come as well into your, you stop being so self-critical, self-analytical, because like you're so used to putting all the attention on yourself, you know, and observing every move you have, and you think that everyone probably is watching you the same way that you're observing yourself and judging your every action, and you're afraid of what others will say about you, because Rahu, the planet, the thing you haven't developed is other people, so you're afraid, what do they think of me? But once you get to know more and more people, once you learn how to be honest and respectable in relationships, your self-confidence will also balance itself.